Postgame is Andre Bennett joining us for the men's basketball team. And Andre, just tough game out there for you guys, physical game, but what were your overall thoughts on the way the game went?
We played hard out. Sometimes you just don't play that way. It was a moment where we fell apart for a short amount of time, and that's when they took that lead. And I guess we didn't understand exactly how to keep our heads in it and stay in the game. But I think that's something we can work out as we get deeper into the conference season. So I think we'll be okay.
You mentioned that moment where they start to really take over that game. I think it ended up being a 19-2 run or something like that. Did it really just kind of feel like they kind of threw you guys in a blender and you just were not able to respond to it?
It was more when they did get one of those buckets on that 19-2 run, as you said. We would turn inwards and we would start kind of trying to figure out what the problem is, but we weren't doing it in the right way.
Right.
So just better communication on the defensive front, because some of those were just mishaps on defense, stuff that we can really work out. It wasn't nothing that they did per se. It was more us beating ourselves.
You and DB were two of the guys that really got stuck with the duel. Not stuck with, but put with the task of guarding Bashir. He didn't score much in the first half on that one. I mean, he had a little bit of a burst there at the end, but I think he only had 3 points for about 18 minutes there. What did you feel you were doing good in that first half on him?
He's a shooter, good shooter at that. So when you get a shooter, you got to run him off the line, get him downhill. That's what I try to do. Mostly get in his head, get him going downhill. As you saw, I got a couple blocks doing that. So yeah, that was the mindset I tried to get him going to, just get him off the line. Because when it's a good player, he's going to score, and you know that. But your job is to make him score as less efficiently as possible and figure out ways around that.
Kind of on a follow-up to that one, when coach gives you that type of an assignment and you know it's one of the top scorers in the country, what does that do for your confidence, knowing that coach loves it?
I didn't do my goal today of keeping him under 15, but I love the assignment. I love it. Every chance we get, I love guarding the best player. I love knowing that I'm the person that has going to guard him and that has the best ability to shut him down, and that's the mindset I run with every time. It doesn't matter who it is.
Obviously, tough loss today, but it's still one that there's a lot of time left in the season. So now, how important is it, especially with you guys being a younger team, being able to kind of reset and move forward after a loss like this?
It's very important. Like you said, we are young. We have a lot of freshmen, only 2 sophomores that are playing. So, yeah, when you do have a lot of freshmen, it's just a mindset thing. Just understanding that preparation beats a lot of stuff. Like we were in a late game situation, and being as freshmen, some of us might get a little flustered, we rush stuff. So it's really just repetition, and understanding that now we've experienced it. The worst has happened. We've been here before. So next time, as it happens, like you said, later on in the season, we'll prepare for it.
One more from me, and that's just you guys were able to level things out there for the final 8.5. And you talk about being freshmen. Do you guys consider yourselves still freshmen by this point?
Not even. It's really not even that we're still freshmen. That's what it says. We don't think about it like that. We just go out there and try to win basketball games with what we got, and we know we can win basketball games with what we got. We're very well equipped to win everything on. I think we have the best team out of all teams, even without tonight win and how it's looking in the rest of the conference. So we're really not freshmen. Our maybe it says we're freshmen, but our mindset isn't there.
I know you don't want to use losses as learning experience, but given how experienced and how strong that Casper College team is, when you guys look back on this in a couple of weeks, do you feel like a game like this where you're able to play them as tough as you did is going to be a learning experience for you all?
Definitely. And that's all we're going to take this as. It goes as a loss in the regular, but losses, like you said, are also learning experiences. We're going to understand how to come back from this loss. We're going to see them again in a few weeks, and I guarantee y'all that it'll go different.
Dre, thanks so much for the time, man. Good work out there.
Thank you, appreciate it.
All right, post game with head coach DeWayne Saulsberry. And coach, first off, just overall thoughts on what was another really strong contest from you guys, it felt like.
It was a battle. We did a good job of staying in the game. They're a good team, staying in the game. I can't be upset about anything. We had about a 4-minute stretch in the second half when Brevin picked up his 4th foul. Had to take him out, and their big kid got going. He had a good night as well. I can't be upset. It's a good college basketball game. Both teams had the lead, went back and forth, and they were able to push it out at the end for a couple of possessions.
Andre kind of mentioned that during that stretch that you were just talking about, that he felt like, because you guys are a little bit younger of a team, he felt like you guys were beating yourselves a little bit too much. Do you kind of echo that sentiment a little bit?
Definitely. Sometimes when you haven't been put in those situations, you turn on yourself. And I thought that a couple of our guys definitely did that until we got them back, and they're able to understand that we're still in this. They got a lot of sophomores over there, and when you have sophomores, you've been put in those situations, and you know how to respond to them. You get up 7 or get up 8. There's no panic. I think our guys panicked a little bit, but I thought it was a great basketball game. For anybody who was in Cheyenne and watched this game tonight, you saw two really talented teams playing college basketball, fighting in the region.
Prior to that run from Casper, you guys had control of that second half. I mean, for a solid 8 minutes there, and then you guys played basically even for the final 8 minutes. But talk about that first 8 minute stretch where you extended, not only came back from down 1 at the half, but were able to push it to a 7-point lead.
Yeah, I thought we made some shots there. I thought our defense was really good for that stretch that you're talking about. We just couldn't maintain it. But again, like I said, when you're in conference play, that's what you're going to get. You're going to get highs and lows. You're going to get goods and bads, and the team that can kind of keep the bads down is the ones who pulls those games out. Last night we were able to do that. Tonight Casper was able to do it.
Touched on it a little bit in the beginning, but knowing how young of a team you have and obviously how strong of a team Casper has this year, again, I know you don't like to use losses as learning experiences, but how do you feel like a loss like this is going to benefit your team moving forward?
I think if it benefits anything, it's just when you get into situations to where it's a one possession kind of game, and that's kind of what it was for a long time. One possession game. You can't make some of the mistakes we made. We get a steal, don't finish a layup. Drive to the hole, don't quite hit the right open man. Those are what championship teams do. They find a way to find their guy. Casper did that really, really good tonight. When they drove, they really found their shooter, and he made them pay for it. I don't think we did that as well as we had been doing it in the last couple of games. But to answer your question, I guess in a long way, I think you can learn from losses. Yeah.
You guys also had probably one of the most balanced scoring efforts from everybody out there on the court so far tonight. Is that kind of showing where the chemistry of this team is starting to get to?
They're starting to get there. Like I said, I thought Brevin had an unbelievable weekend, and we challenged. We as a coaching staff, we challenged Brevin before yesterday's game that he was going to have to be really big for us this weekend because we're small right now. He's going to have to be really big for us. Brevin's a guard. He's not a forward. He's not a center. And, for Brevin to have the heart to go in there and battle against guys a lot bigger and stronger than him just shows what kind of character he has and what kind of athlete he is.
Good for me.
Coach, thanks so much for the time, and good luck as you guys get ready for a long week next week.
Yes, thank you.
DeWayne, thanks.